right, welcome back. And you can see for us, it's about sustainability in everything we do. And well, today, it's about being styled responsibly. How can we ensure that even our fashion choices are being responsibly done and sustaining the environment? And because of this, today we have someone who is a profound designer, globally recognized, with us in the Asharami studios. And before I just bring her, well, to speak up before you hear her voice, I'd like to read her bio. Now, Gift Lohije Raji, she's a Nigerian fashion designer, entrepreneur, and sustainability advocate, best known as the founder and creative director of Lohije, a leading sustainable fashion brand with a strong background in fashion design and sustainability. She has showcased her work at Lagos Fashion Week, Woven Threads, and the Seoul Africa Festival, with her designs worn by notable figures like Chimamanda Adichie and Shafi Bello. A Fashion Comics Africa Sustainable Design Contest winner of 2022, Gift is dedicated to preserving African artisanship and promoting circular fashion. She has trained with industry leaders, including Passon School of Design Director, Abrima Erewa, and UNEP, and continues to push the boundaries of sustainable fashion in Africa. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can we give a sustainable, resounding welcome to Gift Lohije?
Thank you so much for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
You are looking sustainably styled. Okay, do you know what? Before we go into the actual questions, can you give us the inspiration behind the outfit you're wearing and the composition?
Okay. I think that what I'm wearing is one of our collections. It was our third collection. That was last year. That was our third collection that we dropped last year, and it was really inspired by me wanting to combine both, like, two kind of ideas,
Okay.
right? So I had started to play with Adire and Ashoki even before people started doing
it.
that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I try to put them together, both structure and fluid, because I think that it plays to who I am as a person, because I can be very fluid and then I have like some structures that I follow.
Yes.
So I think I was playing with both of them and seeing, and then they really came out well together and all of
Amazing.
that. And then because I always like unique taste, so and I have a unique sense of design, and so I think it just came out being me. It was easy. It was easy to pull off. Yes.
I can see something there. Is that coconut?
Yes, so this buttons are from coconut shells.
Wow.
And from our inception, it has always been like that. We have always looked for, sustainable materials to include in our pieces, or upcycled pieces to use for our collections and all of that. That has always been, an ethos from the beginning of the brand.
Amazing. Okay, do you know what? I want us to go to the beginning,
Yeah.
or before the beginning. Now, several people choose several fashion routes, and we know that the road of sustainability may not be the easiest path for
Exactly.
everyone to follow, because it requires discipline, consistency, and that sense of consciousness about the environment. So, why sustainable fashion?
All right. I always say this story that I didn't know it was sustainable fashion when I started, right? So it was just me wanting to do better fashion, good fashion, right? And that's why right now on my social media, when I speak to people, I say I speak to the good people who just care about something, doing something that doesn't take from another person but gives back.
Or should I say
right?
doing something mad?
Yeah.
Something that makes that is
Yes,
making a
that
difference.
makes a difference. Yes. So I always had that mindset when I wanted to start anything, not just fashion. I was like, what if everybody is going this route? I can't go that way. What way can I, have make an impact with what I'm doing? And then I looked into me and my background. My dad is a lover, or was a lover, rest his soul.
Oh,
Yeah,
bless
was a
his soul.
lover of art. He loved music. So in my house, he would always play African music. He didn't care to know what's the interpretation of that. So in my house, you just be hearing Igbo, Yoruba, you'll be hearing other countries, South African music and all of that. I was introduced to African music from a very young
Early
age.
age.
Yes, from an early age. And then my mom also was a seamstress. So, and then my mom didn't also know she was delving into sustainable fashion, because my mom would go into her boxes and then she would take all her wrappers
Wow.
that she wasn't using again and agile and make clothes for I and my sister. So she wasn't doing
Wow.
anything for, commercial purposes. She just wanted to make I and my sister look like twins.
Oh.
That was her purpose. That was her purpose. And then she did well. She would make, people thought we were twins because she would always make two of every outfit. And she
Yes.
never used new things. She always used from her clothes she didn't want to wear anymore.
Prime sustainability right there.
Yes, right. So I got inspired by her, because I always sit beside her. I can remember sit on the ground where she's sewing and then sit beside her and just watch, the old machine, the wheel down there, and then it's just rolling. I can
Yes.
stay there and sleep off. That was what I grew
Wow.
up, seeing. And then so when I knew I was interested in fashion, in style. I never liked the Western imported goods, like even fashion, all the other brands and all of that. I really loved what my mom made that didn't have,
And I
a
love
logo.
what you're wearing.
Yes, I loved what my mom made. I didn't like the logo, attached to things and all of that. I loved original things that was made by the hands and all of that. So when I got inspired, to start a fashion brand, I knew this was what I wanted to do. I wanted to merge my father's love for African art and music with my mom's, her ability to sew and put things together and all of that. I think that was what made me. And then when I started, after I won, the Fashionomics Africa contest, I realized, oh, you're doing something sustainable. This what is called sustainable
It's
fashion. Yes.
Wow.
So
But
that
it
was
started, I like the fact that, because some people try to move with the whole sustainability narrative from a greenwashing standpoint.
Exactly.
So they just wake up and they are trying to be sustainable.
Exactly.
But, sustainability always starts with, first of all, the drive to make a difference.
Exactly.
And I think that's what I really like. And that's
Exactly.
what makes your story
Yes.
authentic.
Yeah.
How have you been able to blend that Western or the global trend and yet fuse African fashion into it? Has working with global experts influenced this, or what generally inspired that?
I think that what has inspired it most of all is living in the now. I'm living in right now, this 2025, right?
Yeah.
And I'm alive. Glory to God. I'm living here, and I can connect with what is modern, what modern art means. I can connect to what people's style is. I understand my style now. People are more expressive now with their style, with their jewelry, with how they put their things together, even with their even with the way that they express themselves,
Yes.
right? So we see more of expressive people now. So you know how style is tilting right now. And then I also have the advantage of playing into my past. I have the advantage of history. Yes. So because I was introduced to that, my dad also loved history, and I would have magazines and all of that of
Yes.
things that have happened in the past, and I was really a lover of all these things. And then so I'm merging that with what's happening now. So I'm saying, okay, I want to go back to my dad's time or my grandfather's time, and
But you don't
how
want to be
clothes-
stuck there.
Yes, I want to just imagine how they lived, how their clothes were, but I also want to live in the now. So how do I pair my past and my present, right? And that brings in something unique and authentic to you, right? It's your story, and that's what I'm trying to tell.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. And there are lessons here. There's something I heard someone say, that only those who have known about the past and harness the present can own the future.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I think this brand,
Exactly.
this Lohije brand, is the future.
Amen.
All right. Okay. One question I have is, so how do you feel when you discover that your brand has been won by people like Chimamanda Adichie, Shafi Bello, like that's sustainable fashion
Yes.
right there. How has that impacted on you and the quality of work you're doing, and what are you looking at from there?
So first of all, I'm humbled, and then also it's inspiring. So sometimes when I hit a roadblock, I go back and then look at those archives, and then I say, Gift, you did something here, and you can keep going, because it can get very tough, in Africa, doing business in Nigeria and all of that, and then you just think, you know what, I can keep going. If these people loved what I did, this globally recognized people, celebrated people loved
Yes.
what I did, I can still do more. I know that there's something here to keep pushing. So it feels, humbling, but it's also inspiring, and pushes me to do more.
So you mentioned challenges doing business in Nigeria or in Africa. So if you would just like to inspire someone out there, what are some of the challenges you've gone through, and how are you navigating that side of things?
All right. So first of all, as a sustainable fashion brand, one challenge that I always, like I always faced or I have faced is in starting. That is the first challenge. You know, starting when nobody is really understanding what sustainable fashion is.
Yes.
Right. And that was when I started. So I would preach within my circle. And that's another thing, you know what? Before you start to think about influencing other people, influence your circle first. Influence people that are, you know, close to you and all of that. So on my WhatsApp stories, I will always talk about sustainable fashion. I will always be intrigued about things that are happening on other parts of the world that, you know, are related to sustainable fashion and all of that. And, you know, that was how I started. I kept pushing. People didn't understand. I had some, you know, people say, I just want to buy clothes. I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah, but I've seen that over the years, these same people now are. One of them came back to me and said, "You know what, Gift? I want to start a brand and all of that, and I want to do it. You know, I want to do it the right way. I want to make it a sustainable fashion brand. How do I start?" And I see people coming to me for advice. But one person has to take the step. So that was the challenge in the first place. I had to start and to keep, you know, consistency in the things that you're always saying. You have to be consistent. So that was one of the challenge. And the other challenge would be what all other industries go through nowadays, right? You know, access to funds, and then also electricity, access to skilled hands most of the time, especially in fashion. These people are like the river, they flow. They don't stay one place. They don't stay one place. So it's like you're training staff and then they're just moving on and they're just moving on and you're like, oh my God.
That's
How are we going
serious.
how are we going to retain, you know, some kind of consistency here if you guys
Yes.
just keep moving on and all of that? So that's a challenge that you just keep you're bound to have, especially in Nigeria. And that's why I'll chip it in here. And that's why our educational structure is really very important. I said it, I've always said it, and I don't know who will be listening here, that our structure here is not able to give us very skilled hands in fashion because we have a structure problem. From our schools, tell me what great fashion courses, like people go to schools like in the tertiary institution and then they say, okay, I graduated with a degree in fashion design.
You see,
And
are you a tailor?
Yeah, they're like, and then there are also other courses, right, that we need in fashion apart from being a fashion designer. There's PR, right? There's one that is really like trend forecasting.
Yes.
It's in fashion. There's sales. Right, there's sales in fashion. We need all these people, and if we don't have them in our school, we don't have all these courses in our schools,
You don't have the skill set to build the industry.
Yes, exactly. And then, you know, some people coming out. I know that there's some like applause to some people who have to like go the hard route to go and train themselves, you know, online courses and all of that. But it would be easier if I don't have to spend 3 years or 4 years of my life studying another course to come and start studying how to be a fashion stylist. Why can't I go to school and get a degree being a fashion stylist?
Wow.
And so I can go to a company and say, this is my CV. I have trained as a fashion stylist
And
for
you
4
can
years.
build
And then,
something great.
yes, and that person can even start a company themselves. So that is something I'm just putting out there.
Maybe in the next 15 years, you have a Lohije Fashion University.
Amen. It has been my vision. Maybe not Lohije, maybe not under Lohije, but I've always wanted to contribute to, you know, the educational sector for fashion. Yes,
Amazing.
Yes.
I can sense your passion,
Yes.
and I believe our audience can do this as well.
Yeah.
So while we are waiting to see some of her, you can see some of her brands displayed on the screen, and these are amazing. I don't know if you have questions that you would like to ask, and you can put them in the comments. You can go, yes, this first picture, I want you to just tell us about it.
All
Can
right.
you tell us the inspiration, the composition of this outfit?
All right.
Leave it on the screen. Let's marinate on that one.
All right. So sometimes things just come to me, and I think it's also from experience because I've designed a lot, that I've exercised my skill a lot. So you know, it's natural. But then the pants is also our signature pants, right? So we
Yes.
have this cutout, this signature cutout that we always do in most of our pants, right? So we started with the Adeola pants, and then I would say maybe I should brag a little bit. Let me brag a little bit that I was, you know, the first brand that started putting cutout in
You
Asharami
see,
pants.
your
before we
voice
started.
your voice changed
You
when you
know,
wanted to
before we
brag. I was
started-
one of of the
come,
first
that is outside,
brands.
Before people started thinking that, oh, you can put cutouts there and all of that stuff. Yeah, so we tried doing that, and it came out really nice. And that was shown in Korea. Those models, those
This one we are
yes,
seeing on the screen now.
yes,
This is
it's
what you're wearing.
Yes, that's what I'm wearing.
Wow.
That's what I'm wearing.
This
Yes,
was
that's
shown
the
in
popular.
Korea.
Yes, it was in Korea.
Wow.
Yes, so that's we had. After the festival, my friend Joy Yoon, shout out to Joy Yoon if you're watching. She said, "Okay, Gift, your pieces are so amazing. We need to shoot them. Apart from the festival, we need to like have them, proper shoots and all of that." And then she put all of that together. And thanks, Joy. Thank you.
Wow. Do you know what? I'm still waiting for the comments because she might just be feeling inspired, and maybe it's you in the comments you eventually want to gift her free piece too. So do you have the style that you have in mind to gift her if you want to? Is it any of these ones?
I don't know yet.
If it's this one you are wearing, you do the male version.
And okay, maybe I should give this to somebody.
Wow.
Yes, I should give the jumpsuit to someone. Yes. So this would be one of the gifts,
Wow.
and then maybe this too. Maybe this for the guy. The other one with the shorts. What do you think about the other one, the brown one?
This is good.
You like it?
This is I see myself in this guy.
Yeah, it was made with funtua cotton. That's a Nigerian cotton.
Okay.
Yes. So yes.
So someone says I need the hat. Is the hat part of Lohije?
Okay. You would have to ask my husband for that. Because it was a wardrobe steal.
Wow. It's sustainable to steal your husband's hat.
Yeah. You don't have to buy. You can,
Do you know, it was a wordplay there. It's sustainable to steal his hat so that you can keep his heart. That's good, right? That's good. Oh, okay. So one more question. I have two more questions. I think someone says, Kola Wale Oluwafemi says, this is really inspiring. Thank you, ma.
so much. Thank you.
So Sohail Gozlani, she's saying, this is amazing.
Thank you.
Someone says the first picture is 1,000/10.
Thank you so much.
Okay, there's a question here from Ojo Obodo. She says, besides dresses, do you plan to do something with fashion accessories as well?
Oh my God. All right. So that's one thing that you're not the first person that asked me. So one of the things that stands me out is my love for accessories too.
Yes,
so,
I can see.
Yes.
Fully accessorized.
Yes, I always love to accessorize. So I don't know, maybe I don't want to, stretch myself thin. I would like to start from somewhere, but maybe I can just, ponder in it maybe another time.
I'm thinking about a coconut necklace.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so one of my friends, and then I have a friend. So another thing to keep your vision alive is to also have friends, in the sustainable industry, even in other industries, right? They keep you going, like they keep you, on your toes, because when you see what they're doing, you're like, what am I doing? And then I shout out to Pelumi. She's an amazing friend. She was like, oh, Gift, I saw, this bean and all of that, and I think that we can use it it's an African seed, and she said we could use it for, jewelry and all of that. And then she was telling me about it. I was like, that's interesting. We should look into that. So maybe you would just be seeing, jewelry.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, there's nothing that I cannot do. There's nothing you cannot
nothing,
do.
nothing. I love it. Okay, while I wait for more questions, I have two more questions for you. I've happened to see some of your work on social media, and sometimes you share the stories of how you source some of your materials from the local villages, from those who are in at least I know in Nigeria, like Ibadan and all that. So how do you go about sourcing for your materials, for the content you use, for sustainable bits? How is that process like?
All right. So first of all, it starts with research. So you have to not rush. You have to sit down and ask, okay, for me, it is what artisan community do I want to celebrate this time around? Because that is my inspiration. That's what Lohije is being inspired by. Like every collection, we are celebrating an artisan community.
Wow, that's
but
beautiful.
we're not also leaving the artisan community we work with. So I would say Lohije, I always say Lohije is a traveler and Lohije is a bridge. So that's two. So it always inspires me when I'm creating. So because we are traveling through Africa to, unearth forgotten artisan communities and their craft and showcase them in a contemporary light. So that's what makes us, we're a journey, we're a traveler, we're on a journey. And then we're a bridge, because as we're going, we're creating a bridge round. So as we're going,
So those who you left,
Exactly.
have not been left behind. They
Exactly. So
journeyed
we are
to on
journeying
with
with
you.
your So
Beautiful.
we try to just, merge all of this together. So I start with research and I say, this time around, what artisan community am I putting in my catalog of artisan communities that we're working with? And then I research. And most time, because my heart is always there, even before the research, my heart is always searching, for people, places online. I'm talking to people. Sometimes I go to the market and I'm just asking some questions out of curiosity. Where's this made? Oh, who does this? And then before you know, I'm striking a conversation with, somebody that say, from my village, we bring this thing. I'm like, oh, really? And I
Wow.
want to know more about this. And then it's as easy as that. When our last, our second to the last collection, yes, was from, we went to Warawa, Kano. And then who was the one who has been our middleman is the man who makes our buttons. He's from Kano State. And sometimes I just strike a conversation with Mr. Tasiu. And Mr. Tasiu says, see, I have a cloth that is from my place. And it's so different. And I'm like, okay, what do they call it? He said, Sakala. I said, okay, Sakala, I would like to see it. He said, don't worry, I'll send you a sample. I was like, oh my God, this is so meticulously made. It feels softer.
Art.
Yes, it feels softer. It takes more time. Tinier threads are being woven for a longer period of time. I'm like, I'm going to work with this. And then before you know, we're already working with Mr. Tasion. We're working with his artisans in Warawa, Kano. So that's how easy it is. Research, asking questions, being curious about, things that you see around. Yeah.
Amazing. Someone is asking a question here. How can we get how can we get your amazing design wares? I guess these are just the less you just display.
Yes, of course, they're just the few ones we have. But you can go on Instagram at Lohije _. At Lohije _ our Instagram page.
Okay.
And right now we even have like a 30% off anniversary sales.
Wow.
Yes, a whooping 30%.
How many years of Lohije?
4 years.
Woo!
4.
4 whooping years.
And we've been tagging it Lohije forever.
Lohije forever. I'm going to take that discount.
Please come and take it.
I will take it.
Please take it. Please
So
take it.
please
There's a 30% discount off here.
Go to Lohije _
Yes.
and you get all the
Yes.
you have a showroom online
Yes,
too.
of
People
course.
can see it.
Of course. And then our website, you can order through our website. So the 30% sales is directly through our website. But if you come into our DM, we can also, help.
What is the
help you.
website?
So it's www.lohije.com.
Okay,
Lohije.com. Yes.
All right. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
Just one more question. What does the future hold when you're looking at Lohije and also sustainable fashion globally?
Yes. So I'm so excited about this time is because finally the world is tilting to Africa for solutions. So let me say that this is something that I have been saying for the longest. Africans don't really have to learn sustainable fashion. Sustainable fashion has been part of us.
Part of our
growing up.
lives.
We always do this hand-me-downs. I'm not sure there's anybody who has not experienced hand-me-downs. Your elder brother has given you clothes.
I'm
no
doing it
lie.
to my children
No-
already.
So we have, the culture of hand-me-downs, the culture of my mommy turned a wrapper to my dress, all
My
those
papa
culture-
dashed me singlet.
Exactly. That is sustainable fashion. That is, preserving something. Or when you're getting married and your mom has been keeping wrappers for you for a long time, and then she gives you on the day of your wedding, and like, do you know how long I've been keeping this wrapper for you? You
Yes.
understand? Those are the things. It's just that we haven't been talking about it. So that's one thing that I would tell everyone, tell your story, tell your unique story. It might feel boring to you. It might feel, it might not be what you think that the global society is talking about and all of that, but there's something unique about your story that you need to tell. Your story is not somebody's story, so it might be boring to you, but it's not boring to another person.
Yes.
So please tell your story. Find your story every day. Everyday experiences that you have, find it and tell your story. Yes.
Amazing. It's really been a pleasure to have you here. We're going to be
Thank
going
you.
on a short break. When we're back, we have this little game we play.
Yay.
So just check how mad you are.
Hey.
And
I hope I'm that intelligent.
no, it's a little. It's not about your brain. It's about your hands. You see that dot on the wall. If you can get the center spot, then Lohije is fully mad.
I should have gone to the gym this morning before coming.
All right, we are back and we have Lohije standing at the board of decision. Let's know how mad Lohije is. So if you get any closer to the center means you are very, very definitely mad. If you get outside, you are just, you are, All right, are you ready? All right, let's do the first one. Are you ready? Oh. Okay, you have 3 more shorts. Let's go again. Are you ready? Let's do this. Woo! Okay, that's M. Okay, 2 more shorts to go. Let's do this. Woo! That's definitely mad there. And 1 more shot to go. Yeah, the bullseye. Let's do this. Oh. Well, Lohije to the world.
Tune in to Asharami Radio this Friday and every other Friday. Asharami Radio. You're listening.